Nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Nigga, bum. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines. He gon' see Pet Cemetery, nigga. Got PTSD, motherfuck the big three. Nigga, it's just big me, nigga. Bum.
All right, man. That was Like That by Future, produced by Metro Boomin, and featured Kendrick Lamar, man. So, what's up, man? How you feel about that?
Man, look, it was cute, and as crazy as it might sound, I'm not a big Kendrick fan. I I think
Oh,
I think Kendrick can rap, and but I don't think that he makes like the best music or anything like that. He had the little bar in there about fuck the big three is just big me. Uh,
yeah.
not so much, not so much, man. I think I don't I don't think that I don't think he's in the big three. You know what I mean? And I know that's what everybody says, and um I'm a little older than most people that's listening to hip hop these days. I'm 45, so I can actually look back and remember when people rap for real. Like the reason why he's in that big three, as you said, is because he's one of the only people that's actually out there still really rapping. Because I'm not gonna take that from him. He can really rap. He can really rap for real. But people like the kids these days, like I said, I teach kids, I teach teenagers, and the people that they consider that actually spit bars is they'll say J. Cole first. That'll be the first person they say. Then you'll have to mention Kendrick and Drake. But they'll all agree that all of them can rap. So I look at that by saying I say that he says he's one of he's it's just big him. I'm not so sold on that, man. So, I look at success as a marker as well as can you make songs. Now, I can say that out of those big three that make songs, Drake's number one,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and right behind it, I got J. Cole. I got Kendrick third out of the big three with overall artists that's based off success, songwriting making ability, and just lyricism. Like I got him third. So I'm not trying to be biased on it, but I've liked two of his albums. I've liked two of his album, the Good Kid, Mad City. That was his version of a classic. Like that's his album that everybody's gonna always remember. Then I like that other one, Damn. Um,
Oh, okay.
the other one, I think what he had like one more, and then he had another one with his little brother or something like that.
Right, right.
Yeah, like
Um,
I'm not checking for either one of those.
I'm not like I said. I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan either, but a
Hmm.
lot of people do speak highly of him. Feel like he's one of the best in the game. As
Hmm.
far as this track goes, the verse goes, a lot of people loved it. They thought it was amazing. They thought it was good competition for hip hop. They were praising all the world with Kendrick, but I think people are kind of dragging it. I thought the verse he did was all right.
Right.
I seen the shots that he took. He said the sneak distant first person shooter. I hope the king with three switches. I crash out like fuck rap this smelly male. I got two T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. Obviously, first person shooter Drake and J. Cole
Right.
had a song together, and I guess he felt like he was sneak this and the snatching chains and burning tattoos. That's actually the symbol of the OVO festival with the tattoos, with Drake and J. Cole. And then the big three one, I thought it was like I didn't think it was all crazy because he mentioned the big three. He said he said fuck the big three. This is big me. I didn't think it was like people. I couldn't understand why people were going crazy over it. Um,
Right.
I know one that I like though. He said it was basically about Drake because he said Prince outlived Mike Jack because Drake
Yeah.
because he's saying Drake made that comparison earlier as referring to him. So
Yeah.
I thought the verse was cool though. I thought it was dope. I thought the beat was fire though by Metro Boomin though. He
Right.
did a really good job though. But as far as the verse goes, what you thought about the verse going at Drake and J. Cole?
Like I said, man, I'm not gonna deny he can rap. I think people are going crazy because people like controversy, people like mess, people like beef. So for him to say that ignited a beef to them, I think people are more excited to see. Okay, well now what are J. Cole and Drake gonna say bad about him? That's why, not because his verse was just, oh my god, his verse was so hard. It wasn't that hard. You know what I mean?
So get rated from a 1 to 10. What'd you rate that verse?
6.5.
What? Okay, okay.
Yeah, he don't even get a
I'll give it a solid 7, man. A solid 7 for me.
he don't even get a whole 7 from it. It's 6.5. I've heard him come harder than that, like way harder. So I mean, I think it was cool for a feature, and I think that it served its purpose. He wanted to get on there. He knew that everybody was like people have been waiting for this future to drop, so he know that everybody was gonna be listening to it. It gave him the buzz that he needed to create for whatever he has coming up. But one of the biggest problems I have with Kendrick is he doesn't drop often enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
In
think
this
that's the
in
issue that they had.
yeah, in this era, I was talking to somebody today. Man, it's you have to drop damn near monthly for the
Hmm.
for these kids to even remember you exist before they start saying you fall off, you fell off. You know what I mean? I'm like, I understand it, and like I was remember this is like 2 months ago, right? Um,
Right.
I was talking to one of my students, and I said something about the baby. I was like, oh, the baby then fell off. I said, the baby fell off. I said, you know, he just had like the number one song in the country like 2 weeks ago. They
Yeah.
said, what? That was the all the Get Girls with the Hands on the Knees. That whatever that was, I forgot the name of it. But I was like, you know, he just had the number one song in the country, right? And they was like,
Right.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. But I mean, he not dropping like he used to. They told me Little Baby fell off. I said, bro,
Oh
Little Baby,
hell no.
yeah. I said, come on, man. I said, y'all have to understand, you don't have to put out music every week for them. Like, you know, and to them, they're so used to it. But I'm used to maybe getting one album a year from my favorite rapper. So they used to having once or something a month or something every month. Like Young Boy drops something every month,
Yeah.
whether it be good or bad. And that's why I don't think he put a lot of time into this music. That's why I don't like it so much.
Yeah, man. The yeah, Kendrick, he doesn't drop enough music a lot, man. I think this is the first time we heard something from him in years, and people been asking about Kendrick. We see people on this team from the Top Dog, dropping music, but we would never hear anything from him, and we finally hear something from him, and it was solid though. It was solid, but I think it does take away from Future though, because this is his project. It takes away because all people been talking about is this Kendrick verse.
Yeah,
Now I think people are a little bit crazy though when I seen people trying to compare this to the Control verse. This is nowhere close to
no
the
man,
Control verse. The Control
no,
verse, that thing shook everything. This
yeah.
one, it shook some things, but it didn't shake it that much. So I
It,
just
it's more this verse is more important by about who he went at, not what he said. Who he went at. Like he's throwing rocks at the sun right now. He's throwing rocks at Drake.
Now,
You know what I mean? So
now the big question is, what will Drake and J. Cole do? Will they be on a track together, or will they be going at them separately, or they will not respond at all?
I honestly don't think that they're gonna do anything. I don't think J. Cole's gonna do anything for one. Drake always is gonna say something. He's gonna have it in one of his next songs. He'll have a bar or something about it. Just to, just that's just what he does. He's petty like that, and I mean, I don't think that this is gonna really move the needle when it comes to making them go in the booth and I gotta go make a reply. I don't think that's gonna gonna make them do that. Like I remember you know, back to back was actually the second response to
Right,
Meek Mill.
right, right.
So, I and it was a hell of a response. I think that was I got
Yeah.
that in my top 10 disc records. But
N- I don't see no way that Drake and J. Cole will be on the same song and going at Kendrick. I just don't see it happening, and I just don't see it. That would be a little bit too much for Kendrick.
yeah,
But if there's one person that I do expect to respond to it is Drake, because Drake, he loves the competition and he loves responding back. And when somebody Kendrick did it, I think he will definitely respond. Um, and it's basically he made it very obvious who he was talking about. Like it was
right.
very obvious. He basically said it in his verse, so it was obvious who he was talking about. Everybody knows who he was talking about, so people don't need to downplay it or hide it or anything like that. So they know
Yeah.
that it was about Kendrick and it was about J. Cole, and it was pretty obvious from everything that he said on there.
Yeah, about Drake and about J. Cole. That's why I said, man, I don't really think, but I just don't think it doesn't warrant a big response. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
of course, if they when Kendrick gets asked about it, he's gonna say, "Oh, it's all about competition." That's just what he's gonna say, man. It's not. He doesn't have any personal beef with Drake and J. Cole. He's just gonna say this is like this is just a competition thing, um, like he did with the Control verse and everything. It wasn't no. It's not no big deal. I think it was cool. I think the real winner out of this is Future because he getting big
Yeah.
time streams today. He's getting
Yeah.
big time streams today, so it was worth whatever he paid for the feature. And because I think that I haven't listened to the whole Future's album that came out today, but I did hear that one song. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in the car and I might go ahead and listen to the whole thing. But I had to hear that one because that's what the buzz was about. Now
Yeah, man.
I'm sure Future has way better songs on there than that,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah,
the
that
one that's
was
gonna generate all the attention.
yeah, Future, Future, he's having some hit and misses, from the projects that he released, but I think this one could possibly be a hit because out of all the people that got Kendrick on to return, Future pulled this one off, and I think it's definitely going to help him. And I think this will be it's going to do really good for him once it's all said and done. Because I kind of looked at the same thing when Kanye did a project with what was it? I think it was the Ty Dolla Sign or Two Chains,
Yeah, Ty
and
Dolla
they
Sign. Yeah,
and yeah, they end up having a number one album and the number one song in the country, and that was the first time for him also. So I think this is gonna
yeah,
help Future out, and it's gonna benefit him a lot. I haven't checked out the entire album. I'm actually gonna go check it out right after this, man.
yeah. And I
But
gotta check out the Kanye album too, man, because I know like I said, Kanye is more famous now for his controversy instead of his music. So
Hmm.
I'm I don't want that to be like that for him because he has one album that I consider a classic. College Dropout I consider a classic, and you know, Late Registration was dope too. Like his first four albums were classics to me. Not classics, not all of them classics, but they all were dope.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, man, Kendrick, good luck with that, man. I just hope that you stayed in the booth and wrote some hits after you laid that verse. So we won't be talking that's not the only reason why we talking about you. I know he's like every coast has to have somebody, and right now he's the best that they have over there on the West Coast.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, so he's ready. He's holding it down for him. I hate the fact that he didn't drop music enough because the West Coast right now is a national music scene. They don't really to be successful. You can be successful right there in California. You don't have to venture out to the rest of the country. But
No, that's true. Because I know a lot of people that's popping off right now in California, and they're really more known in California, except
mhm.
outside of California. But they make a lot of money though.
Yeah, man, that's the biggest state that we have, and you can get rich just that. Just like in New York, like they have rappers that are only famous in New York, and they never have to get more famous leaving out of there. They can become millionaires right there in New York. Um,
Mm.
the only place that we really have like that in the South is probably Houston. Houston rapper can be big right there in Houston, and he'll have shows all throughout Texas and Louisiana area, and stay right around this little area, and just be touring. So you got a person like Kendrick. He's the biggest star that's coming out of California right now. So he needs to do well. He needs to do that to keep the whole thing going because you can't ride out this Snoop fame forever, man. For the West Coast,